Premiere Pro has color? Are you ready? Adobe just gave Premiere Pro a professional color grading interface. Not a new slider, not a Lumetri update, a full grading workspace with operations, spatial controls, and one feature that honestly makes HSL Secondary feel broken by comparison. And if you've been jumping between different color grading platforms just to color grade, that conversation is about to change, hopefully. So here's the thing, guys. We've been editing and color grading client work inside Premiere Pro for years. And every single time, the color grading part felt like a workaround. You'd maybe throw Lumetri on a clip, maybe stack an adjustment layer on top of your clip, maybe slap a LUT on top and then pray, but it never felt like a system. It just felt like duct tape. And that's why for so long, so many editors, and I mean good editors, would end up round tripping to other software because Premiere never gave you the professional structure to grade properly. And finally, guys, that changes now, and it's about time. So I'm gonna break this entire new update down in a way that actually makes sense. I'm gonna show you how it works. I'm gonna show you how it fits into your current workflow. And I'm gonna get to this near the end. I'm gonna show you the one feature here that genuinely replaces an entire panel that you've been fighting with for years. So first things first, this thing's called color mode. And color mode lives in its own workspace now in Premiere, right now, Premiere Beta. If you open up Premiere Beta, you will now see that you have the import, the edit, now the color, and the export tabs. And I know that sounds small, but it's actually a massive shift in how Premiere wants you to think about color grading. Because before this, color was just like another effect. It was buried deep in the same panel as everything else, no separation, no structure, but now it is a dedicated space. And the moment that you enter it, two things happen that immediately change your workflow. On the right side, you'll see every single clip in your timeline listed out. It's not your project panel in your timeline, so instead of digging through bins to find the shot that you need to grade, you just click on the individual clips. You're on it, and then you're done. And then right below that, write this one down, you have two modes, clip and sequence. Clip means that you're grading one shot. Sequence means that you're applying a look across everything. So for example, you could fix exposure on every clip individually and then drop one unifying creative grade on top of the whole sequence. That alone is already a smarter workflow than just stacking Lumetri effects. But here's where it actually gets even more powerful. Look down below your viewer and you'll see something called Adjust One. This is called an operation. And this is the part that makes color mode feel like an actual grading tool instead of just a filter. Each operation is basically a layer. You can add more or stack them. They allow you to separate different parts of your grade into their own space. So instead of cramming everything, say your exposure fix, your white balance, your correction, your creative look, into one Lumetri panel, you can now break it apart. Maybe one operation for exposure, one operation for white balance, one for your creative look. It's just clean, organized, and repeatable. Now there's one more workflow thing in here that's really useful, especially once you start working with multiple clips. Earlier, we talked about how you've got clip level adjustments and sequence level adjustments, but there's actually a third option that shows up, and it's really easy to miss. If you select multiple clips at the same time, you'll see a new option appear for selected clips. And this is really powerful because now instead of just applying something to one clip or your entire timeline, you can actually apply it to a group of clips too. So let's say you've got 5 shots from maybe the same camera angle or the same lighting setup. You can highlight all of them, click the plus button, and now you can add an adjustment or style to all the selected clips at once. Now, most people are going to hear operations and think, cool, I get layers. And that's true, but the controls inside each operation are where things get really different than what you're used to. This is the color and contrast section. And the biggest shift here is that these aren't just sliders anymore. They're spatial, like 2-dimensional. Let me show you what I mean. First, we're gonna look at something that I call contrast with pivot. Normally, contrast is one slider. Up means punchier, down means flatter. That's it. Here you've got a pivot point. And what that means is you're choosing where the contrast is centered. If the pivot's in the middle, the contrast is applied evenly. Pull the pivot down and you're protecting the shadows and pushing the highlights harder. Pull it up and you're protecting the highlights and you're crushing the shadows. So instead of just adding contrast, you're actually deciding where that contrast hits. And that's a completely different level of control. The next section that we're going to talk about is something that I call exposure with directional control. Same idea. Up and down controls brightness, but left and right controls where the brightness is coming from. So you can actually brighten your image without blowing up your highlights. Or you can darken it without crushing your blacks. If you've ever fought with an exposure slider because lifting the image destroyed your sky, this fixes that. Next section I like to call temperature with full 2D space. This is no longer two separate sliders for temperature and tint. It's just one pad. It allows you to push the image wherever you want it. Warmer, cooler, greener, magenta, all in one motion. It's faster and it feels more natural than going back and forth between two sliders. And honestly, I feel like once you use these spatial controls for a few minutes, going back to flat sliders will feel limiting. And on top of all of that, you've got zones. Zones break up your image into smaller tonal areas, not just shadows and highlights, but different levels within them. So instead of adjusting all highlights at once, you can target just the brightest highlights or just the mid shadows. It's like having multiple layers of shadows and highlights instead of just one. So no masks, no tracking, just precision. Now there's one more thing in here that I think is honestly kind of crazy. And this is probably the closest thing to like a life just got easier moment inside this whole update. I'm talking about the ability to use the new object mask tool, a rotoscoping tool within your color workflow. This is basically Premiere's version of something like RotoBrush, but faster and way more automatic. It's actually powered by a newer AI model, and I think it's honestly kind of ridiculous how quick it is. Let's say you've got a clip of someone skating and you want everything black and white except the person. Being able to seamlessly utilize a rotoscope workflow along with a color workflow is going to make this process an absolute breeze. So first, you want to make sure that you've added a clip adjustment operation to your clip. Then down in the bottom left, you'll see your tools. And one of them is the object mask tool. Go ahead and select that, and then just click on your subject. In this case, we're clicking on the woman. And Premiere will automatically try to isolate her. Now here's an important step. You want to go up to Window and make sure that Effects Controls is enabled. Because yes, Effects Controls still works inside color mode. Once that's open, you'll see your mask there. And from there, you can track it forward or backward or across the entire clip. So now you've got a fully tracked mask on your subject. Next, make sure that the mask is actually applied to your color adjustment. Sometimes it might show up as unassigned, so just double check that it's linked to your color effect. Once that's done, all you have to do is invert the mask. So now instead of affecting the subject, you're affecting everything around the subject. Now go back to your color and contrast controls and just pull the saturation all the way down. And just like that, everything except your subject is black and white. And the crazy part is this isn't just for color. You could do the same thing with exposure, contrast, texture, sharpness, literally anything. You can isolate a subject and push literally any part of your grade exactly to where you want it. Now on to the next section. This is color shift. Here's how it looks. You pick a color. I prefer using the color picker tool, but you can also pick the color balls on the bottom. And then you control three things about it. The saturation shift, which allows you to increase or decrease the saturation of just that color. The hue shift, this actually allows you to change color into a different color. You can push blues more toward teal, toward green, toward purple, whatever you want. And lastly, there's the luminance shift. This allows you to control how bright or dark that color is. So you could darken a blue sky without touching your subject at all. Here's a little hack, guys, from my bro Kess. You can actually use your up and down and right and left arrow keys to add a little bit more precision. Yo, what's up, guys? You do not need any more free presets that look like garbage. You need a tool set that actually works. Every editor has been there. You spend more time hunting for assets than actually editing. Free effects packs always look cheap. Paid effects packs cost a fortune, and nothing ever really works together. So our team built everything that you need in one place. 28 packs, 200 plus assets, cinematic titles, transitions, light leaks, overlays, screen templates, retro effects, VFX, all designed for Premiere Pro and After Effects. And they're all drag and drop. I've spent years teaching video editing to tens of millions of creatives through the Olufemii channel, and I've spoken at Adobe Max many times on how to get the most out of Premiere Pro and After Effects. These packs are built on everything that I've learned. Every one of them was made from scratch, and everyone has a full video tutorial. 28 packs, $1 each. instant download, lifetime access, and if it's not for you, you get a full refund within 7 days, no questions asked. 2 more things worth knowing, all within this new category called detail. First, you've got texture, which gives you can call it micro contrast, which is great for softening skin or bringing out surface detail. And the second thing is sharpness, but with more control over how and where it's applied, so you're not just blasting your whole frame. And that is everything as far as adjustments go. Remember, you can either have clip adjustments or sequence adjustments. Now let's check out something else that color mode calls clip styles. Think of styles as like creative presets that you can place on your clip. They're crazy adjustable and they're great for getting started fast or giving a client something to react to before you dial it in. You can of course add a clip style just to your clip, as well as a sequence style that applies to your whole sequence. Fam, did you know that you could add LUTs in color mode? You can either add a LUT to your clip again, or you can add a LUT to your sequence as well. So check this out, when you put all this knowledge together, here's what your grading workflow might actually look like now. For operation 1, maybe put a clip adjustment on your clip just to specifically fix your exposure. Operation 2, maybe put another clip adjustment on your clip just to fix the white balance. Operation 3, maybe put another clip adjustment on your clip specifically for balancing your colors with color shift. Operation 4, again, another clip adjustment on your clip, specifically though for adding your creative look. And then lastly, let's put a sequence adjustment on your sequence and apply a global style across your entire timeline. Now check this out, that's structured, that's repeatable, and it's fast. No more stacking random effects, no more guessing which Lumetri instance is doing what, no more round tripping. Look, this doesn't replace high-end dedicated grading software quite yet, but that's not the point. The point is, for the first time, Premiere actually has a color grading system, not a panel, not an effect, an actual system. And for most editors, I'm talking about the ones cutting client videos, branded content, YouTube videos, this is going to be more than enough. At the start of this video, color grading in Premiere meant simply stacking Lumetri layers and hoping for the best. But now you've got a dedicated workspace, shout out to color mode, a layer system, spatial controls, a color shift, and a tool that makes HSL Secondary feel like a relic.